Democratic Party along the way, and many of you wanted to accuse me of being a voice for the right. So you know what? I feel like it's time to set the record straight because ain't nobody hiding, ain't nobody running. To the election cycle, I voiced my concerns about Joe Biden and his ability to serve as second term as president. Then Biden stepped on the debate stage in late June and revealed what many suspected. He embarrassed himself. The White House and the Democrats eventually switched to Vice President Kamala Harris when he stepped away, who ultimately ran what some would say a valiant presidential campaign, at least in the eyes of some, that ultimately fell short with voters across the country. I pointed out my concerns with the campaign and the Democratic Party along the way, and many of you wanted to accuse me of being a voice for the right. So you know what? I feel like it's time to set the record straight because ain't nobody hiding, ain't nobody running. Okay? Let me be very, very clear. I'm a registered independent because I don't trust either side.
He voted for Trump.
I think both sides are full of it on so many levels and so many circumstances. It's nauseating.
I guarantee you.
But I also want to take a moment because a lot of people out there on social media have been saying to me, here, Stephen A., you take these positions, you're frustrated with the Democratic Party, but then you voted for Kamala Harris against Trump. Why? It's very, very simple. I believe that Donald Trump has been a divisive figure. And I was thinking coming into this election that the last thing we needed was 4 more years of what we saw the last time, where there was so much.
Wait a minute. So he thinks that Trump has been divisive and divided this country. As soon as Joe Biden got in office, he divided this country. I mean, they divided everybody. This guy is something, I'm telling you.
Strife and so much division that even though the economy clearly was doing well under his watch before COVID struck, it was just too much for the country to take. I was fearful of civil war in this country. It wasn't so much that he was supportive of white supremacists and he was this racist and all of this stuff like people were saying. I didn't engage in that incendiary rhetoric because I've always believed that Donald Trump was.
Wait a minute. Civil war in this country. And what was the rhetoric that Trump was supposed to speak? That's all you hear the media push. His rhetoric. His rhetoric is the truth. When he speaks, he's speaking the truth, and that's what they call his rhetoric.
It's just somebody who did things that were politically expedient. If supporting one side was going to generate votes for him, he would flow with it. And if it was not going to support his cause, he wasn't. It's just simple. It's just that simple. Why?
No, it's not that simple. He supported what he believed in. People that believed what he believed, he supported them. And the things he didn't and the people that he said he didn't support was the, boys and girls locker rooms, boys in sports and girls sports, all that nasty shit from the LGBTQ. And that's what he didn't support. He didn't support full-term abortion.
Why did I say that? And why did I refrain from that incendiary rhetoric that was thrown in his direction? It was because I knew Donald Trump before he ran for president. And black, whites, male, females, and everybody in between got along with him great. So for all of a sudden, everybody to stand up and act like he was this pariah was BS. But
wait a minute. Sean Hannity told you that, buddy. You was on Sean Hannity many times. You interviewed Sean Hannity. He said you guys was actually friends behind the scenes. This is what I don't understand. Sean Hannity told you many, many times over who Donald Trump was. And you want to sit and say this stuff.
I was also acknowledging he didn't help his own cause. From the moment in 2015 when he strolled down those escalators with Melania, the man offended 50% of the population.
No. He didn't offend 50% of the population. He couldn't do what he wanted to do because there were so many trying to impeach him and go against him because he could not be bought. That's the problem you people don't understand. He is a businessman. He was not a politician. He has too much money to be bought. He cannot be weighed and swooed by a woman. That's what freaked everybody out, that they could not get him in their pocket. They could not get him to be a loyal Republican, swamp, whatever you want to call it up there. He wasn't going to go along with the program. He actually fought against the program, which that's why us Americans voted for him. He's different. He fights for the American people, Stephen A.
Back then in 2015 came across as xenophobic in the eyes of many, and it just seemed to go downhill from there. No, so after he served his 4 years in the White House, I didn't want to repeat all of that. But I didn't call him a racist. I didn't compare him to Nazis.
Here's a list of stuff your car insurance company does that are actually a rip-off. They don't want you to know this.
I didn't sit up there and accuse him of befriending white supremacists and all of that stuff, because I knew no matter what people believed, they were trying to politicize it. So when I thought about him against Kamala Harris, I said, excuse me, let me make sure Republicans are in the House and the Senate. You have somebody that's going to work with both sides in the White House, and we'll have peace.
He wasn't going to work with both sides, and we wasn't going to have peace.
Domestically. That's
wait a minute. Domestically have peace. Son, was you not awake during the 2020, 2021 riots? That's Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They freaking had everybody in the country, their side, burning down cities, saying they were peacefully protesting during COVID. They were allowed to do it. Where were you at then? You wasn't speaking out then, Stephen. You was not sitting here saying, that's wrong. How many police officers died during that? How many people got hurt during the 2020 riots? You was not sitting there talking about that then. Why would you even want to say that she was going to have a peaceful 4 years if she was president? She would have not, this country would have not been peaceful. I can guarantee that, because I can guarantee you the stuff and the woke shit she would have passed and pushed, this country would have really seen a civil war. So I don't know how your thinking is, but
I was thinking. But under no circumstances was I this raving supporter of Kamala Harris. I saw her during the primaries in 2020. I saw that she couldn't get to Iowa. I saw her comments about transgenders, particularly those in prison that wanted sex changes.
And you still was going to vote for her.
I saw how incoherent she appeared in communicating what her objective would be when it came to.
And you still voted for her, and you still wanted her in the White House over Donald Trump.
The economy. I know for a fact that she was supposed to oversee the issues involving the border. Yes, like Roland Martin said, she wasn't the quote-unquote border czar, but she was.
Yes, she was. If you go and look up, Joe Biden actually signed the paper with her sitting there at the table saying she was over the border. That made her the border czar. It's on file, man. Go look at it.
Perceived as such. I also saw her go on The View and categorically deny that there was any need to change anything that Biden had done, even though over 12 million people crossed the border illegally. And you.
No. It wasn't about changing. She said, she asked her if she would have done anything different. Now you're putting things different. You're saying it different, Stephen. She said would you have done anything different? She didn't say, would you change anything? She said, would you have done something different? Let's get
well, acting like there was no border crisis. I saw the duplicitous tendencies. I saw the inconsistencies. I also saw the hypocrisy.
But you still got on your show and you told people to vote for her.
And as the election came about and ultimately unfolded, and I saw Donald Trump win convincingly. No,
that's what you call a Democrat sheep that doesn't want to lose his seat at the table with the elite people, because we all know he's the #1 sports guy, ESPN. We know he's a multimillionaire. We know he eats dinner with these people. That's what it is. He's a sheep. He doesn't want to lose his seat at the table.
He did not get 50% of the popular vote, as the Democrats are so quick to point out. My attitude to them is shut the hell up. Nobody wants to hear that now. Who cares whether he got 50% of the vote or not? He beat you.
That's right.
In the popular vote and the Electoral College vote.
This right here is why I think he will. He's going to put the red MAGA hat on, guys. He's going to put the red MAGA hat on.
He swept the swing states. He improved his numbers in every demographic imaginable. Blacks, Hispanics, women. He beat you. And the American people spoke, and they spoke flagrantly.
Yeah, we did.
And from that moment forward, I'm like, damn all of that. We're going to support the fact that he won the presidency. And I'm going to tell you where I'm at with it. And that doesn't mean I'm going to become some registered Republican, because I still find them a bit shaky. But when I see Attorney Bragg in New York trying to convince the judge and the courts to treat Donald Trump as if he's deceased, as if he has died, just to make sure that your convictions on those 34 felony accounts remains a part of the record, it just shows another level of patheticness.
But you couldn't say this before the election. You see where I'm going?
If that is such a word that creeps in, once again, you can't let it go. He is the president-elect of the United States of America. In January 20th, he is going to be the president of the United States.
Yes,
and you want to sit up here and waste taxpayer dollars and literally go before the courts to do everything you can to make his conviction a matter of record, knowing he ain't gonna get any jail time. You're not gonna be able to incarcerate him. You're not gonna be able to fine him. Sir, it's over.
Exactly.
It's over. Democrats, it's over.
I agree. Let the man just run this country for 4 years, and we're going to prosper. We're going to flourish. We're going to drill. We're going to make this country. He is going to help make this country so much better. And we're going to stop all the nonsense. And he's going to bring a lot of people together. As you see, I'm recording this. It's the 17th of December. Look how many world leaders has already came to him. Look how many big executive, high-tech, Jeff Bezos, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, all these people, they're sitting down with him. They want to work with him. They're businessmen. They want business, and they want their business to be good, and they know they can get that with Donald Trump. So
it's over. I'm going to say this before, and I'll say it again. You know what I would do if I were Joe Biden, President Joe Biden? Especially since I basically gave the Democratic Party the finger because you kept saying, we follow the rule of law, we follow the rule of law, we follow the rule of law. And then you went and you circumvented all of that to get to pardon your son Hunter. Since you were willing to do that, if I was President Joe Biden, I would pardon Donald Trump.
there you go.
I'm going to say it again. I would pardon Donald Trump for one reason and one reason only: to move the hell on. Enough's enough. Enough's enough. You tried to get him if you Nancy Pelosi. You tried to get him if you Chuck Schumer. You tried to get him if you were the Dems in the Senate and the House. You tried to get him if you were the FBI. You tried to get him if you were the Department of Justice. You tried to get him. I mean, damn.
None of it worked.
Russian collusion.
They made all that up.
What happened? See, we keep talking and talking and talking. And all we see at the end of the day is that you inconvenience Donald Trump and you caused him headaches. Probably forced him to take a few doses of Motrin or Tylenol. That's all you did. You ain't doing anything else to him. He is back in the White House next month. All that shit y'all did, all the stuff you pulled, you had your surrogates out there, your pundits out there, you engaged in lawfare,
You
did everything.
Not us.
And you convinced the American people, yo, his ass belongs in jail. And where he going instead? Back to the White House.
Okay, guys. So let's see. We're going to stop it right there, and because there's still like 17 more minutes of him ranting and stuff. So I just wanted to, kind of show you where Stephen A is. But do you think if you go and watch it, he has his own YouTube channel. So I don't like consistently watch him, but I do watch certain little videos of him with the politic with Trump stuff. So I'm not encouraging you to go watch him. I'm just saying if you would like to, he's on YouTube. So what do you think? Do you think Stephen A. Smith will be putting on the MAGA hat soon? If you do, or if you don't, if you like this kind of video, why don't you give me a thumbs up? Leave me a comment. Let me know, yes or no, will he put on the MAGA hat, the red hat? Will Stephen A. Smith be putting on the MAGA hat? So until next video, stay in your lane or crash the damn thing.